In this episode of the Red and Gold Report, I'm going to be catching you up on all the recent Chiefs news, including a famous tight end weighing in on whether Travis Kelce is underpaid. We're going to be looking at the preseason schedule just being released and talking about talking head Peter King ranking our Kansas City Chiefs behind a team that we're clearly better than. So, first up in Chiefs news, All-Pro 49ers tight end George Kittle was recently on Pro Football Talk with Mike Florio. And during his interview, he spent some real time publicly lamenting his opinion that Chiefs tight end Travis Kelce is criminally underpaid. Kittle cited the fact that Kelsey has had so many 1,000-yard seasons in a row and that he's still being paid half of what wide receivers are making right now, even though he's been far more productive than many of the wide receivers making more money than him. In Kittle's words, he says, "It boggles my mind." It boggles my mind, Kittle says. So, is Kittle correct? Is Travis Kelce seriously underpaid? Well, he absolutely is. I think it's interesting that Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce both seem to be equally important to the Chiefs' passing attack for years on end. In fact, a lot of us fans, we kind of really like Kelsey. We would say maybe Kelsey is even more important. But while Travis Kelce signed a 4-year, $57 million extension back in 2020, well, Tyreek Hill just signed a 4-year, $120 million deal with Miami this offseason. Literally double that of Travis. And while Kelsey's deal averages $14.3 million a year, he's taking home $8.9 million a year in 2022. Now, I probably won't make $8.9 million cumulatively in my entire life. Actually, I'll probably only ever make like a third of that if you put everything together in my life that I'll ever make. Except if my modeling career picks up, which that doesn't look very promising. But to put that $8 million into perspective in the NFL, not for the rest of us, that is 1/3. Yes, just 1/3 of what the top wide receivers make per year. And that means that in 2022, Travis will have less take-home pay than many other tight ends, including Baltimore's Mark Andrews, New England's Hunter Henry, and Jonnu Smith, Miami's Mike Gesicki, Dallas's Dalton Schultz, Cleveland's David Njoku, and Jacksonville's Evan Ingram, formerly of the Giants. So, seeing as how none of those guys I just listed are even close to Kelsey or even probably qualified to be carrying his jock strap as his personal chauffeur, I would say that Kittle, he's totally right. Travis Kelce is underpaid, particularly this year in his contract. He's making $8.9 million. Now, the Chiefs do still surprisingly have a good amount of cap space left. We're all pushing for them to use some of that cap space to sign a free agent. I would love to see a defensive lineman signed or two, but what if they have in mind, what if right now the Chiefs have in mind trying to re-sign some players with that cap space? Obviously, we know they're trying to re-sign Orlando Brown at offensive tackle, but who knows? Maybe behind the scene, Travis Kelce's contract is in the works. The next contract for him, maybe it's already in the works and we just don't know that they are working on it. I know, if I was Kelsey's agent, I would absolutely be demanding a new contract. So you never know, but it's something that I talked about early in the offseason that the Chiefs might need to address his contract, and it's something to keep an eye on, pay attention to over the next few months. But let me know what you think in the comments below. And here's the question: should our Chiefs sign Kelsey to a bigger extension? Hey, real quick, make sure you subscribe to this channel, like the video, hit the notification bell. Every time someone subscribes to this Red and Gold Report channel, a Raiders fan loses their wings and their Darth Vader helmet. So subscribe. In other Chiefs news, the league has officially announced the preseason matchups. The Chiefs will be playing at Chicago, then at home versus Washington Commanders. I am still not used to calling them Commanders. The Just sounds weird to me still. And then again at home versus Aaron Rodgers' Packers. If Aaron Rodgers even plays in the preseason, we'll see. And approximately 0 fans anywhere ever are sad that there are only 3 instead of 4 preseason games now, because preseason does not matter. It just doesn't matter. But that's who we're going to be playing in this upcoming preseason. In other news, Pro Football Focus's analytics are predicting a very strong rookie season for Chiefs rookie first-round defensive end George Karlaftis. This was partly due to his pass rush win rate last season in college being in the 98th percentile. If PFS Crystal Ball is correct, they are projecting Karlaftis to have 8.9 sacks, so 9, which would have tied last year for the most on the team with Chris Jones, and which would mean that he would double any defensive end sack output on the Chiefs from last year's squad. So that would be pretty amazing. In other news, Football Morning in America writer Peter King has apparently been smoking too much of the Colorado Special, because King has somehow inconceivably ranked the Chiefs behind the Chargers in his recent power rankings. I mean, who cares that the Chiefs have won the AFC West 6 consecutive years, right, Peter? I mean, who cares that the Chargers have all of 5.5 fans at their home games, right, Peter? Come on, man. Come on, Peter King. I get trying to write up some clickbait, but that's stupid. The Chargers are not better than the Chiefs. In other news, the Chiefs officially have the 5th most expensive tickets on the secondary market, with the average home game ticket at Arrowhead for the upcoming season right now going for $354. Yeah, $354 as they begin to be resold online. Now, seeing as how for some years now, if you do a little research, Chiefs tickets at retail price have been somewhere in the middle of the pack in the league average, this secondary markup shows that people are really clamoring to get into Chiefs games. Of course they are. It also shows that I'm hoping the Chiefs don't raise the ticket prices soon, because they definitely could. They definitely could. In other news, the Draft Wire has declared Chiefs 5th-round draft pick Darian Kinnard, the offensive lineman out of Kentucky, to be the biggest steal of the entire draft this year. Other sites and analysts are also hyping up this big value pick, so I continue to be excited about Kinnard. And hey, what if this is another Trey Smith late-round starting offensive line pick in the making? Wouldn't that be amazing? In other news, Chiefs cornerback L'Jarius Sneed has had his car shot up in his hometown recently. Luckily, Sneed was not hurt. Actually, he wasn't in the car at the time. Nobody was in it. Nobody was hurt in the incident, thank God. In free agency news, former New York corner who was recently released by the Giants, James Bradbury, has been signed to a 1-year deal with the Eagles. He was rumored to be a target of the Chiefs, but he will officially not be headed to KC, of course, because he is on his way to Philadelphia. In similar news, free agent defensive end Jadeveon Clowney is returning to the Browns on a 1-year deal. Due to the Chiefs' severe need at defensive end, there was a lot of online talk tying Clowney and the Chiefs together, but that is all over with, as he is headed back to Cleveland. Well, that about does it for me, but what do you think? Do you think the Chiefs should be signing Kelsey to a bigger extension? Do you think he's underpaid? What do you think about Peter King's power rankings that place the Chargers in front of the Chiefs? And with the free agent market dwindling, who do you think the Chiefs should be looking at signing in these upcoming weeks? Leave all that in the comments below. Make sure to subscribe to the Red and Gold Report on YouTube. Like this video, hit the notification bell, all those good things. Thanks for watching, and go Chiefs!